Here in this video, I'm going to talk about the realities of enrolling in a PhD program, mostly grim, and the few special cases where doing a PhD actually makes sense. If topics around academic studies, career advancement resonate with you, hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell icon to get the latest content. Now, let's get real about PhD. You heard PhD grads earn roughly 26% more than bachelor holder. Sounds great, right? Wrong. A master's degree gets you almost there with around 23% more earnings, and in a quarter or half the time. Many employers don't even understand a PhD. You hear, aren't you supposed to be a professor? Or you are overqualified. Being overqualified doesn't mean you get paid more. Mental health and isolation. Let's talk about the emotional cost, because trust me, there is one. Roughly 36% of PhD students report anxiety or depression. The constant self-doubt, endless deadlines, a lack of real-world validation. It's a mental battle royale. Universities care about research output, not your well-being. If you break down, they just expect you to keep going. By the last years of my PhD, I had some sort of PTSD symptoms. It took me years to reset my mind. I finished my PhD for two reasons: my mental well-being and my visa status in Sweden. That's how desperate it got. Think your PhD guarantees a professorship? Oh, how I wish that were true. In most fields, less than 1% of PhDs land a tenure-track position. Hundreds of applicants, one position. And you better believe it goes to someone from fancy name university. Most PhD holders end up in jobs unrelated to their research. I saw colleagues, brilliant minds, get stuck in low-paying postdocs, hopping from one country to another for temporary contracts. Not exactly the dream, right? Maybe you're thinking, I love learning, academia feels safe. PhD is not a school, it's a job. If you're doing it because you don't know what else to do, stop it now. Supervisors can make or break you. Some are mentors, others paper-producing factory managers who will milk you dry. A bad supervisor can turn your PhD into a horror story. Trust me, I lived it. If your main goal is to be called doctor, ask yourself, is it worth the suffering? The title feels cool for a week, then nobody cares unless you are in Germany. A PhD is a long, painful road. If you're not genuinely passionate, you will regret it. Alright, so when should you do a PhD? Let's break it down. You're obsessed with research, not just interested, but obsessed. You'd research this topic for free. Your industry requires it. If you're in biotech, AI, quantum physics, okay, fair. Otherwise, check if work experience matters more. You're using it for strategic gains. PhDs can help with work visa, residency, or funding opportunities. If it's a stepping stone, not the final goal, it makes sense. You want an elite R&D role. Some high-tech roles value a PhD. But if experience trumps education in your field, skip the PhD. Looking back, do I regret my PhD? No. It shaped me, it challenged me. It was the best option for me at the time. But would I tell the 23-year-old me to think twice? Hell yes. So here's my advice. Choose your supervisor wisely. They will define your PhD experience. Know your why. If you're unsure, that's your answer. Don't do it. Understand the sacrifices, years of stress, low pay, and instability. Is it worth it? Have an exit strategy. Academia isn't the only path. Be open to alternatives. So, future and former PhDs, where do you stand? Still in? Running for the hills? Let me know in the comments below.